Hey guys, so here we are, the first ever women's only webinar at Hustler Marketing. It's for the International Women's Day, which you all know is on March 8th. And I have with me some of the most kick-ass women at Hustler Marketing, which includes account managers, designers, copywriters, and then there's me. And just a little bit about us. We are an email marketing agency that helps e-commerce stores grow their revenue. We've been around for a couple of years. We work with over 50 e-commerce stores, and there's about 70 of us in the company, spread across over 30 countries around the world. And in the next 1 hour, we will discuss email marketing, marketing trends, women in email marketing, women in marketing, feminism, and just a lot of fun. So stay tuned and watch the Hustler Women. No, not that magazine you're thinking of, but the email marketing agency kicks some ass. So let's get started, and then I'm gonna introduce my entire team to you. And by the way, we are just some of the women at Hustler, not all of us, whoever could make it. So I'm gonna just start with the introduction. So I'll call out the name in the order of my screen. So we'll start with Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm a graphic designer. I've been here for around 8 or 9 months, and I'm so happy to be here.
Jessica is an amazing designer who creates magic with designs. If you've seen our social media, our website, most of it is done by her. So yeah, if you like our social media, she's to credit. Thanks, Jessica. Then we have Andrea.
Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Andrea. I'm from Mexico. I'm an account manager at Hustler Marketing, and I really love and enjoy doing strategies for the clients and to work with my creative team. That's both designers and copywriters.
Thanks, Andrea. Then we have Tiffany.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany. I'm a copywriter from the US, and I've been working with Hustler for over a year now. So.
Thanks, Tiffany. Then we have Sikeli.
Hi, my name is Sikeli, but everyone calls me CK here. I'm an account manager, and I'm from Caracas, Venezuela.
Thanks, Sikeli. Then we have Danny.
Hi, I'm Dani. I'm from Mexico too, and I'm a designer, and I joined the same time as Jessica. So we've been together here for about 8 months.
Thanks, Danny. We have Marina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marina. I'm an account manager. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Thanks, Marina. Then we have Sharina.
Hey everyone, my name is Sharina. I'm an account manager here for about 1.5 years. So yeah, I really love working here. So now we have more women here. So yeah.
Thanks, Sharina. Then we have Brenda.
Hey everyone, I'm Brenda. I'm from Venezuela and I'm an account manager.
Thanks, Brenda. And last but not the least, Anna.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna. I'm based in Dubai and I have been with Hustler Marketing for over 2 years as account manager, and it's really cool here.
Cool. And finally, it's me. I head marketing at Hustler, and I've been here for about 6 months. And yeah, I love this company so much. And let's see what we have in store ahead. So just to break the ice a little bit, and since we are all about email marketing and we kick ass in it, I'm gonna have my first ice-breaking question a little bit around it. So you girls tell me, if your life was as an email subject line, what it would be. And we will start with Danny.
For me, I think it would be a surprise is waiting for you because like I like a lot of stuff. I'm always like trying to learn everything, and like you never know what you're gonna find. So probably, yeah, that one.
Cool. So just raise your hand when you have an answer, then that's what, and just go for it. Cool. CK.
Mine would be like your name and did you know, because it really sparks curiosity and really gets good open rates.
That's a good one. Yeah, that always gets me to open open the email, no matter what's inside. Like I have to know as a curious person. Cool. Anna?
I would go with As You Wish because it's like everybody wants to make their dreams come true, and my life is pretty much all my dreams coming true. So yeah, it's 2 in 1.
Cool. So As You Wish, did you say? That's a nice one for a campaign. Sharina?
If my life is a subject line, it would be helpful tips inside because I like to give unsolicited advice. Sorry.
I'm sure some of them are really useful.
Hopefully.
Marina?
Mine would be, hey, name. You have to know what's inside.
Really now? That makes you wonder. Cool. I will not scandalize you anymore. Jessica?
For me, it would be something big is coming because I always like trying to learn some new things and try to get better and better. Then I
That's
think
true.
that something big,
Yeah.
big is coming.
That's true. That I vouch for that subject line for you. Something is always coming. Andrea?
Mine will be still thinking about it because I tend to think everything too much. I'm like a philosopher, so yeah.
Is it the still thinking about it with a question mark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The cart abandonment one, right? Where like you want people.
Yeah.
That's a nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if you're still thinking about the subject line, then that's a double whammy. Cool. And then we have Tiffany.
Yeah, for me and my life right now, it would be how not to be a crazy pregnant lady, because you can't see it from the waist down, but I'm 5 months pregnant right now. So that's what I'm working on.
Thank you for that announcement. So now this call is also unofficially Tiffany's baby shower. Cool. I don't know. I don't work that closely with email marketing, but I guess mine would be what's new today, because every day something is new. And, in my field, we have to like do something new today. So yeah. Cool. So that was like a minor crash course in email subject lines. But, talking of email, what does Women's Day mean to us? Have we moved beyond the pink emails with like just an offer for women, or reaching out to men saying, hey, buy this and make your women happy? Or are we doing something a little more thoughtful, impactful at Hustler Marketing? What are we doing with our clients' emails? Does anybody want to like talk about any interesting campaigns we've done? And I might like show that on my screen if I have them. I think CK, you are working with a client that's doing something interesting.
Yeah, I'm working with a client that's selling bracelets, and they're mostly for women. But we tend not to have all this content just for women, because it's much more. They like to be tree huggers, they like to the environment, like animal rights, and they like to get really involved in activism. So we try to make content for them too. And this month, for Women's History Month, we're doing a series for women environmentalists and like the impact that they've had in our lives. And so many women that we don't know that have made so much sacrifices, so much for us and for the planet. And so we're doing this series to honor them and to show people that we've done so much, and sometimes there's little to be said about it.
Wow, that's a very thoughtful gesture. And I had a chance to look at this email, and I'm just gonna quickly show you a glimpse of it.
And Danny's amazing, and she's a strong, powerful woman. So she made that so beautifully. You can show it, and you can see that it highlights these women in the perfect way.
Yeah. So this is the email, and I personally loved it. It's so, I mean, I saw it first, and I went to this lady here because I personally happen to know her. She's from my city, incidentally. So yeah, really, really nice to see this. And it's not just like it's not trying to sell products, but it's also like trying to highlight these women and their achievements. And I know we should celebrate Women's Day every day and highlight their efforts. But I think if there is one day earmarked for this, then why not? There are some pretty kick-ass women around, and they need to be recognized. And this is the lady that I was talking about. I know her personally. And you said the brand is sort of into like sustainable clothing or environment. So this is a good fit brand-wise also. That's nice.
Yes, that's what we wanted, not to be too pushy and to honor these women and what they've done. And at the end, we try to connect a bit with a product plot, but always trying to enhance what we're trying to do.
Okay, that's really nice. And I think we have another brand that also did a nice take on Women's Day. Instead of just limiting to a Women's Day specific products push, they actually celebrated the everyday women, how women play different roles in their everyday life. And I'm just going to show you one that template, and I personally loved it. So it talks about like all the women that are regardless of age. There are women that are old and young and teenagers and all sorts of women, rebellious women, demure women, hardworking women, homemakers. So that's really nice. And then since we are email marketing and we work with e-commerce stores, we have to have the plug. But then this is a good way to celebrate the everyday woman. Cool. Anybody else working on something interesting? I think Moves is another brand that that did something interesting around Women's Day. Yeah, Danny.
Yeah, so that template you just shown, I actually sent it to you because I think it's really important that Sikeli said that you have to empower women in this day, right? It's not about the sales. It's not about being pink and beautiful. It's not that, right? You have that every day, and this is a special day to like empower women and use words. Like if you read the copy of that email, it's you use words like fears and like power and all that kind of stuff that makes you feel like important. So I think it's great to have a great team of copywriters in this company who can do that for us, right?
Yeah, and beautiful color scheme. It's nice. It's not like sickening pink. It's done really tastefully as well. I really like it. So yeah, and yeah, I'd like to show another one that I saw. I think it's a brand of footwear, and they've done something. So they are doing a Women's History Month, and they also are celebrating women that are making the right moves. And I think they're doing a series where every other day or every day they would show different women who've done something interesting in their lives. And this is like the first part of it. So I think the best part about how we are going about email marketing is the fact that we are making it a little more impactful and touching all the points, and not just like pushing Women's Day products, which a lot of brands tend to do. And I think years ago I had made this joke that Women's Day is basically a day for women's brands to make a lot of money, because it's all about, oh, buy makeup, buy clothes for women. And yeah, so it is nice that we have evolved our marketing. Cool. So that said, let's also like talk about some other fun things and some important questions that we as women or we as marketers should be talking about. So I think one thing that I have noticed personally, or rather it's a fact, that there are a lot of women in email marketing. I'm part of a lot of communities that are that are women centric, and I definitely, even if I haven't done a proper research, I can tell that there's more women than men in this field. So is it true that women tend to make better email marketers? And if if that's true, then why? Why is that? So you can just show me your hands, anybody who would like to answer this. Andrea.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that this is my opinion and I don't tend to offend anyone. So I'm not generalizing also. I do think that women has an advantage on email marketing, in marketing at all, because we tend to analyze more everything. We are more kind of detail oriented, so we pay attention to more stuff than guys. For example, we always know this girl was wearing this dress, the dress was pink, the dress was red, whatever, so we tend to be more, we realize this kind of stuff. So this is helpful for email marketing, for marketing at all, because you can create better strategies. We are also more intuitive, I guess. So this helps us also to be more courageous, more brave at strategies, making decisions. It really helps. I also think that we are more connected to emotions. This is not because guys cannot connect to emotions, but because society hasn't allowed them to be connected to their feelings. So it's easier for us, for women, to connect to emotions, which is pretty good in email marketing, So this is my opinion, and I think we have an advantage right now. Maybe in 1 year it's going to change,
That's an interesting point. Would anybody else have a take on it? Sharina.
I think other than like physical work, women can do anything. So it's with the email marketing, we have a laptop and a mouse in front of us, and it's easy for us. I think it's because maybe we don't realize itself, but to build our own career around men, we kind of have to work 3 times harder. You have to show things 3 times more perfect. And it somehow is already ingrained and we don't talk about it anymore. We just work harder and harder every day. So I think women kick ass. You can do anything, but that's not the physical stuff. That's it. Other than that, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And related to what Andrea said, when we think about something, let's say when we have a team, we would think about what time are they in, the time zone they are in. We would think about what at. We would think about where we want them to grow. We kind of have, when we do stuff, we think about this like at the same time. And men being simple, not comparing, but just saying that men being a simple being, they do things one thing at a time. So this is why women have more advantages. So that we kick ass. Laptop, mouse, anything. just don't carry stuff. That's it.
That's true. That's true. And I personally also think that women also tend to make better email marketers, because email marketing is a lot about, being empathetic to your audience, knowing it. Because when it comes to ads, I think, ads are all about reaching the right audience and, having the right message for the first time. But then email marketing, which relies so heavily on repeat purchases, and building a relationship with your customers, that women tend to know the customer better. They know what strings to touch upon that will relate, that the customer will relate with, importance of certain days and certain occasions in the month that matter more to people, which I think are slightly lost to men. Not to be sexist, but there has to be something why we are better at email marketing. So yeah, all points are quite valid, and I think the real reason is a mix of all of these. Cool. Yeah, so moving on. So
I think Anna has something to say. Monica.
Yeah, sorry, Anna, go ahead.
No issues. I just wanted to add something quick. I think women tend to buy more online. So even in statistics, it's proves. It's not a huge difference, but I think it's not like 100 accurate. So it's just easier for us to understand why would we buy. Like if I would buy, then other women would buy, then that's just easier. It's not like better or worse. But it all depends on the product and on the person at the end.
Yeah, that too. Since women like shopping, especially for like certain certain things a little more than the others, we also know what kind of language, what kind of CPAs, what kind of hooks really work. So yeah, that's a really good point, Anna. Cool. So
if I can add something, Monica. I just want to comment that I have this store where I send an email and I split the segments between men and women. And it was really, the results were surprising because the open rates with the guys were way better than women, but women buy everything. Like the revenue was higher with women. So
okay.
Open rates and click rates with guys,
yeah,
and money with women, you know? So it was interesting. It was really interesting.
Yeah. That's also interesting because within Hustler Marketing, I think we have a couple of brands that have seen amazing results. I think those are like the two of our biggest clients that are actually managed by male account managers, and they're doing really well. So maybe it's a good thing to someday when we don't have like work of our own to see how do the women stack up against males. But then I don't want to really go into a gender war at Hustler, because I think Hustler is one of the more equal places that I have seen, and I don't think gender is even a concept at Hustler. So I think that's what my next question was really going to be. What are some of the most all of you, I'm sure, have few years of experience behind you, or you worked at other places. What are some of the sexist most common things you notice at workplaces that are not so much seen at Hustler, or maybe they are also, but like what are some of the most common things that exist at the workplace and we see very often? CK and then Marina.
Yeah, I've been working with agencies for some years now, and most of the account managers have been women. It's been really rare to see how many males here in our account managers, because with my experience, it's always been women. So there's always this sexist thing about behind it. It's always like, oh yeah, you're the one that looks pretty and talks to the client. You don't do anything or whatever. Or maybe just telling yourself you have to have heels if you're going to meetings, you have to have makeup, you need to look sexy or cute, and that's not it. At the end, we do the same work and we try to even push harder, and they don't. Sometimes creatives in other agencies, I know here I've been like an amazing relationship with my team, but in other agencies they seem to see us just as the pretty girls that talk to clients, and that's not it. We have so much to do. We have like strategy behind it. It's all ours. So yeah, that's one of the things that I've seen over the years. And right now in Hustler, I haven't seen many, but sometimes, hey, you just have to, if something happens, you have to call it out. That's one of the points too, to call it out and to like tell people to stop doing it or change their narrative.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I think in my personal experience, one thing that I have noticed happened a lot in my past, roles, and I don't know if it has happened in Hustler yet, but if you're in a meeting and there are more men and you may be the only woman, or maybe there are other women, somehow the men tend to like explain what you said a lot to the other people, as though what you said was not clear to everybody. Hey, what she meant was, and I'm like, hey, we both are talking English and I'm like perfectly capable of explaining myself, so why is this need to mansplain? I know technically this is not what mansplaining is, but yeah, there should be a term for this thing that some men tend to do, of explaining. And I know maybe it's like comes from a good place, they mean well, they want to help you, but yeah, somehow it can get very patronizing. Anything else, Sharina?
Yeah, if I were to go into this list for my previous work, that's the list is endless. I worked in corporate for about, I think, 7 years, and yes, the room is full of men. What I noticed one thing about what Sikili said, Sikili, it's real, it's happening. If not showing skin, you're not getting the promotion. That's real as it gets. And the thing is that we cannot control the decision makers. Yeah. So I want to say thank you for bringing that topic out, Sikili, because that's quite sensitive. It's as sensitive as toxic masculinity. So now, please bear with me. Please take this neutrally, no judgment. Whatever that men do, let them do it. But we women have to stick up to each other. We have to stick up with each other. If ever that you are on the privileged side, please empower the rest of us that are not privileged. I'm just saying it as on surface as I can, because we got to stick together. We can't fight with each other. And yeah, Sikili, thanks for bringing that up. And yes, men. I am so tired of defining what I'm doing based on what men say. Mansplaining, okay, you know what? That's why I say we learn faster, we learn 3 times more. If it's technical, if you have to start learning to explain things until they can re-explain it to you, until they take it as that. That is what she said, not that it's what he said as be re-explained by somebody else. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a bit fired up about this. I put up with this for so many years. But in hustler marketing, there's so much room to breathe. So much room to voice out, so much room to be yourself. So yeah.
And do you think it could also be because we are in a remote workplace, and honestly speaking, I think remote reduces that to a certain extent, where you being a woman, a man matters, or how you're dressed matters. Because come on, let's be honest, nobody knows what I'm wearing bust down. I could be a mermaid for all we know, right? So yeah, I think pandemic might have just brought this thing, made the whole gender thing a little bit more equal because of that. Because we can all look pretty on Zoom, but nobody knows if we're wearing heels, if we have a short skirt, or how we flirt with the client. I don't know. It's I like the remote work culture for women. Brenda.
Yeah, I want to make a follow-up on your point, Monica, because here in hustle marketing, you jump in a call with somebody and no one will say to you like, hey, you look like ugly today, or hey, you need to wear more makeup. And that's the coolest thing ever. Like, you can work on pajamas and everything is okay, nobody's going to punish you or something like that. So yeah, it's a deal breaker.
But I have a follow-up question too. Does that happen? Do people tell you on a call, or in any work scenario that you're looking ugly? Because yeah, that I will take that up with HR.
Actually, personally, I haven't experienced that, but I have received comments like, okay, because you are the prettiest on the company, you need to talk to this client, or you should talk to them because they will listen to you only because you're pretty, or something like that, or yeah you look good. So yeah.
That's, I mean, if you're pretty, that's sort of I don't know if it feels good, or I don't know how it feels, but yeah, it is hidden.
I mean, it's not the fact that I'm pretty, it's the fact that I'm used to that. I mean, for that, because I am pretty, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, this is how I look. This is how everybody looks. Like, you cannot change your face. I will love to,
talent.
Yeah, I would love to see for who I am and my work, rather to be seen for how I look, to be honest.
And Marina, you have something to say to that?
Yeah, I like where I worked before Hustler, it was a male dominant place. Well, actually, if I'm being honest, I was the only woman there. So at first it was really, really hard because they were used to dealing with only men. And when I got there, they were kind of freaked out by me. I mean, they wouldn't listen to me ever. And then I remember the first ever meeting I was at, there was 8 men and me. They gave me the, how is it called? The headspace, of the table. That made no sense because I wasn't the most important person there. So it was weird. And then I remember 2 of the big shots at the meeting started kind of arguing with each other. And one of them said a bad word, insulted the other. And then they all froze and they looked at me and they're like, there's a woman in the room. I'm so sorry. And they stopped saying bad words. And I was like, what do you think? I'm like made of crystal? I'm not gonna break because you insult each other. Like, do you think I do not insult people in my daily? Like, have I not heard that word before? Like, I was so shocked, but by what just had happened that I couldn't even say anything. I was just like, they're like, by all means, just continue insulting each other. I really do not care. It was so weird, and that was one of the first things that made me realize, okay, I don't think I want to work here anymore. But yeah, and like Brenda says, like it had happened to me once that they had a problem with a sort of like a client at a like a kind of cocktail party that we were having. One of the clients came to complain about something, and they came to look at, I was just there like talking to somebody, and they came to me and they said, hey, and they came with a beer and they had like, hey, can you take this to that guy over there? Because he's a bit mad, and I think if you go and talk to him a bit, he's gonna be, like less mad at us. And also like you feel so pressured because it's all of these older men and you, that I did it. Like I grabbed the beer and I went to the guy like, hey, how are you, okay? And like, it was so weird. I felt so weird. I remember coming back home, like that was such a weird experience. And yeah, I ended up leaving that place. And now at Hustler, it's so weird. Like there's a phrase that I hear, like I'm not reminded of the fact that I'm a woman. Like it doesn't really matter. Like nobody cares what you look like or if you're a woman or a man. Like I really haven't been reminded of the fact that I'm a woman at any point. And that is all I ask. Honestly, that is all I really want.
Yeah, cool. So moving on, I mean that's an interesting discussion, really. And we could like totally have so much more to add there. But in the interest of time, we spoke about remote work culture a lot, and how enabling that is. So I'll just, now with the pandemic and everything having gone, most companies are now working remotely, and the trend is here to stay. In terms of how is this remote culture enabling us, maybe as marketers or as women? What do you think is the how it's so good for the work culture or not? Like, I'd like to hear some thoughts on how that is impacting us. So yeah, I'll just start with maybe Tiffany had some thoughts on it.
Yeah, I would say for me, because I have a 3-year-old, and then I've got another one on the way. It's like it's the perfect thing for me just to not have to get him ready and take him to a place, commute to work. And that's what I was doing for a while. And it was not sustainable for our lifestyle, just because I didn't feel like for me, I didn't feel like a very good mom when I had to take him someplace else. And now that I have all this flexibility, and like I can kind of mold my work schedule around my life schedule, which is a huge difference. Like it's so much more empowering for me to feel like I'm a good mom. I'm doing what feels right for us, because I think it makes you feel like a better person when you can devote yourself to the things that matter most to you, and then also you can do work that you can feel good about for clients and all that stuff. So yeah,
that's true. And yeah, ditto. Like I don't have kids, but yeah, I have dogs, and they are a handful. They are no less work. And I think just the time that's removed because of the commute, 2-3 hours in my city, it is just making me so much more productive. Like every spare hour that I would have spent uselessly in an office is now going towards something productive. So yeah, how this is country specific, but do you come from a country where working remotely is helping? Maybe somebody from a little more conservative country like I don't know, UAE or Malaysia could we could have that. Sharina.
Well, remote working here is totally foreign It's totally foreign. So when I applied for Hustler Marketing, okay, the thing is that when I quit from corporate, I quit cold turkey so that I have this mindset change and I don't care anymore. Okay, I just want to try new things. And so when I applied for Hustler Marketing, there was this period of 3 months or 2 months where my friends, my family, and everyone that I knew was like, "Are you sure this is not a scam?" So that's how foreign it is. And I have to hedge these comments. And at the same time, this is a totally new industry for me. I was in events and communication, nothing, no email marketing, no templates in Klaviyo. So yeah, I was hedging these comments, and then some personal things happens. And being in a remote work made me realize that all these years I was fighting the wrong war. I was not building myself the way that I'm supposed to. So when you have time to talk to yourself, okay, and then you start discovering things about yourself, there was a moment in my life which being at Hustler Marketing allows me to maneuver through this. There's a moment in my life where I disassemble everything about me, and I just rebuild myself back. Only the things that I like. So Hustler Market, being in a remote work, and then being in this very healthy environment, Hustler Marketing allows me to do this. And now people are asking me if Hustler Marketing is hiring. And I'm like, sorry, we are freezing headcounts now. I'm sorry. I invited you then. but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
yeah, I was also talking to somebody whose husband got a job across, like, all the way around the globe. And she had a choice either to quit her job because she couldn't get a job in the country that her husband moved to, but then she applied at Hustler and she got through. And now it is sort of empowering for her that just because her husband moved, she didn't have to quit working for him. So it's sort of like a win-win for both. I know Danny.
No, I'm just I laughed, like Jessica and me, we laughed about the scam thing because actually we have talked about this before and we thought the same thing, like it was too good to be true, you know? And it feels really great, like having things that at first you think are too good to be true for you is like really empowering as a person, not just as a woman, right?
Yeah.
And also, as Sharina said, building yourself besides the workplace is a great thing to do. We don't all have that chance to do other stuff that we like to do besides working and all this professional life.
Yeah. And also not having a set number of hours, like we are not working with a 9 to 5 organization, really helps, because it's not like we can't do an 8-hour job, but that we have the freedom to decide which 8 hours those are going to be. So if I feel that mornings I have a lot of errands and I have to feed the dogs and I have to coordinate things and cook and all, then I have the rest of the evening. So yeah, I think that way also, because women are more it's a cliche, but it's true, we are more involved in the house, we are taking care of more chores. It's very important for women to get to choose when they want to work. So I think that's really important about the remote work culture, which is not also time dependent or like a specific time. Anybody else wants to? Is any of you traveling and then that's enabling you to like be a digital nomad and you don't live in the country that you actually? Andrea. Okay. And Maria.
Sorry, Anna. Well, I tend to travel a lot because I have a long distance relationship. So this really helps me to go and see him, like, instead of 1 or 2 weeks, like 3 months, so it's better for me and my economy for sure. So yeah, that's great.
Cool. Awesome. So
Anna wanted to say something. Sorry, Anna wanted to say something.
Yeah, Anna, go on.
It's okay. Like, I just wanted to say that I can relate to all the things you guys saying. Like, for Stephanie, I have already 2 kids, so I was pregnant like all the last year, and I was absent only 2 months, and it's really cool because just taking them to somebody or keeping them with babysitter, it's I don't know, it's just like makes me feel so bad, and it brings so many different feelings, from jealousy to feeling guilty and back to jealousy, and it's crazy really. So that is cool. And also, I have been here for so long that I forgot all those sexist things. When you girls start talking first, I'm like, I did not experience that. And then I just like realized, yeah, and this was happening and that was happening. And like, wow, that's why I feel so comfortable here, because I don't experience that anymore. And it's really cool. Like, it's just amazing to, and we travel a lot. Like, I can travel with kids and I don't need really to, like, my husband, for example, always jealous because I can go anytime and he has to apply and get approved vacation, and then it's limited and I can just go and spend all summer away from UAE and it is not like hell there. So it's amazing to work online, and especially in this company, because Boston, the culture here is amazing. The way how he treats people is great, and everybody adjusts to it, and it just feels in the beginning also too good to be true, and then you just like getting used and you don't believe that something else happening outside.
Yeah, true. Cool. Thank you for that. That perspective makes you really thankful for what you have and the kind of company you work in. Coming back to email marketing, you know, we as email marketers, or any marketers for that matter, we have a chance to move the needle, to take the society sort of in a better place through our words, through the language, through the imagery that we put out in the world. Of course, we have a certain mandate towards the client. We have to work according to what they want. But what are some of the things that y'all are experiencing, or actually y'all are doing in your emails for clients, which are making positive social changes, not just for women but women also, but generally for society, like so just to give you an example, what I'm seeing now, a lot of things about ads are changing. Earlier ads used to show women doing all the housework, so any product that's related to cleaning, sorting things would be like, oh, targeted to women or men, but meant as gifts to women. Now it's like, these products can be targeted to men also. If you are supposed, like a dishwasher or like a high-end dishwasher, and I know like the whole joke about women dishwashing and all of that, but now they show men dishwashing. Like, so, that's like a small thing, and it makes for funny content, but it also, like, in a way it's positive. So maybe let's keeping in our own emails as an example, what are some of the things that we are doing. And maybe I'll ask Danny this, because she is the visual designer, so she actually has a power to make that change. So Danny.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we always try to, like in the latest emails, we always try to include a whole diversity in women's like cultural background, shape and age and everything. We are used to seeing marketing and in publicity this perfect blonde skinny girl who is photoshopped and has glowing skin, right? So right now what we're trying to do is to include everything, so everybody feels like it's easier to be relatable to a brand, also as a person, as a human being, seeing yourself reflected in the publicity of that brand. So if you see, in my opinion, like for example, if I see a Mexican girl or a Latina in the publicity of a brand I like, I'm gonna feel related to that brand, right? So we're always trying to do this and push visibility of every single like cultural background, and trying to push that as far as we can.
Yeah, and I'll just show you an example of exactly what Danny said. Like for this ad, for example, conventionally we saw skinny white women, and we have like this big brand here, and they have women of color, they have women of sizes. So yeah, I think we at Hustler Marketing have that, and I think Jessica also, as a designer, I'd like to know your thoughts also on what we are doing differently.
Yeah, I think that one thing that is really important now is move from the idol culture, like the things that you see at the perfect woman and you desire to be like her. And it's funny because this kind of publicity work for men because they want that girl, and work for women because women want to be like that, like her. And I think we are moving, sorry, we are moving far away from that, and we are trying to show real women, real women. Then you can be that, you can be her, you can stay in that publicity, and it's normal because have stretch mark, have freckles, have that kind of are normal, but the society says like hide that because it's not that cool or something like that, and you can be more feel like identify with that brand, not just like I want to be like her. No, I really can be her.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, and another example of one of that feeling that an email that we did that inspires that I can be like her, I think is a beautiful one by a brand called Hydrate Mate that we work with, and this is how it goes. Talks about inspiring women, and these are not like your celebrities or actors or anything. These are women who are in their native lands, have done something amazing or made an impact, and just the fact that you guys have dug out these women from the annals of forgotten history and put them in email instead of the products of the brand. That's really interesting. I'm so curious to see how these emails are taken, and but it's great that as email marketers we're telling stories now. We are taking the responsibility to be content creators rather than just promoters and product pushers. So guys, I had a few questions from the community, from the email marketing community, when I told them that we're going to have this webinar. And as you all are email marketing experts, some of the things they asked was, and I'd love for you to answer some of them. What are the most important email metrics? What are the rather like the metrics beyond open rate and the purchases are we tracking, or should we be tracking? So maybe I'd like some account managers to handle this one. Anna?
Well, I would say, of course, open and click rate is important, because if your all emails are going just to spam, then it does not make sense of how beautiful your email is. But on top of that, I would pay attention to the conversion rates, because at the end of the day, you want to make a sales. You want to get more repeated clients. And if you're just sending them too much of content that, like, yeah, it's interesting, but you are a brand, right? You need to show your brand. You need to make them feel want to wear it, and you need to pay attention to that. What else? From the top of my head, yeah.
That's okay. So another question was, what are some of the email marketing trends that we are going to see in 2021 or ahead? And they could be trends that have been generated because of COVID or otherwise. But what are we seeing? Anybody wants to take this? Sharina, would you want to?
Okay, it's not just because it's 2021, but what we are taught here and how we are trained, that when we do our briefs, we are to get some examples from Pinterest or really good emails or things like that. I don't know if the rest of the AMs are still doing that, but I'm really wondering that why are we not the example? Why are we not coming out with a new layout, new taglines, or new subject lines trends? We always refer to some other things on the website. We always refer to some things that is already working. Although I'm trying to somehow balance with what Anna said, open rate, click rates, and then revenue eventually. But I have this vision, which I have not yet achieved, is to niche the niche. Like it also relates to the cultural diversity, talking about real things. But at the end of the day, it's the revenue that matters, and that's where we need to balance, like where we can try and where we can not try. So yeah, it's niche the niche for me.
Yeah.
Be the example, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if I have noticed something from all the emails that I have been seeing is that a lot of non-promotional content is happening in emails now. Just like the examples we saw, these are not product pushes. Eventually, there'll be some maybe 1-2 buttons to check out the products, but a lot of storytelling, a lot of and I think personalization is happening at scale right now. We are reaching out to the customers and with stats on them, or rather like talking about them, their I don't know that technically how you're doing it, but I have seen a few brands where we put the onus of the content on the customer. So that's, hey, like for example, there was this brand of baby clothing, and then we went out targeted to the mother, and we said, hey, we know you do this, you do that, so here's 10, like here's some way for you to relax after a very hard day, dealing with your baby and stuff. So yeah, I think that relationship building, lead nurturing your audience is happening a lot more. Anna, and then Andrea.
I just wanted to add that to not forget to mix and match, because yes, it is important, and it is important to give some value, but try to implement your brand in that picture. So it's not only they are getting some information, right, that attracts them or makes sense, but also you put your product inside of that picture, so that product will be, for example, shoes, right? Nike shoes. You just see the shoe and you already see the picture of you running on some nice air and breathing and enjoying. So that's the goal of any marketer, to make people want that product, not just for sake of sale or offer or promo, just because it will give you the feeling of something nice that you want to relate to. And yeah, content is important.
Yeah, and we saw like just for people who are watching who are not from the agency, this is a crack team of email marketers. We had a stunning 2020. I think we generated over 6 million in revenue from email alone for our clients, and Black Friday was another story. So yeah, I think when these people say something is working, we just have to like take their word on it. Cool. So another question was, for email marketing, what are some of the good resources to to check out new content or some educational content? And when you think of that answer and reply, I'm just gonna put a little plug there. Check out our own blog on hustlermarketing.com. We have a blog almost twice a week, which is written by account managers, copywriters, pretty much all of our team. And that's where we compile all our collective knowledge and put together. So for it's all email marketing related. So for email marketers watching us, do check out hustlermarketing.com blog. There's a lot of wisdom there from the past I think 2-3 years. So yeah. And what about some other sources, girls? Do you have like any podcasts or any websites that you refer to, Danny? I think I see your hand raised?
No, sorry,
Okay,
is that okay? Am I
no, that's
frozen?
okay.
No.
I think I saw Anna.
Is she going to speak now, or is it me?
Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so as a designer, it's usually we look for very visual platforms. So for example, Pinterest and social media is really important to be updated on. We're constantly watching inspiration and looking for it to improve our designs. And I think it's really important to keep ourselves like refreshing in which is like the trends design wise and everything.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I've seen, all of us do at Hustler is we also analyze a lot of other brands. I think they used to be a big brand shadow thing where they would take an email of some other brand and then analyze it, why it's good, why it's not, and the subject line, the send time, and everything. And I think that was really interesting. We constantly are looking at like the market, the trends to sort of keep our knowledge updated, which is really cool. And I think another thing is really good emails. The website that puts up a lot of emails, I think that's a good source of inspiration. Tiffany, you had something?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to a lot of different, brands that I look up to. And so I'll even look to my own email, day to day, just to kind of analyze how they're doing their copy, what the length is, how they're relating to their customer. And I think even your own emails can be a really good resource.
Yeah. Marina?
I actually, whenever I get a new client, I just subscribe to all of their competition and all of the brands that are like them, but maybe not a competition. And that is just like a big source of inspiration, and see what they're doing, their subject lines, what they're talking about. That is, always a good source to just subscribe to everything.
Yeah.
And go through everything. Yeah.
Great. So I think we've come to the end of this right in time. So thank you so much for everybody watching. And if you're interested in knowing more about what we do, check out our website hustlermarketing.com. If you want to connect with all the awesome women on this webinar, you can. I think we are all on LinkedIn. The names are visible on this chat, so do connect with them. And as I said, check out our blog. And also we have this very cool thing called the Email Hall of Fame. And if you just want to see some of the great emails that we've been doing that the clients allow us to share, then this is a place to check them out. So yeah, I think that's all that we had for today. And this has been a lot of fun. I know getting 9 people from like all the different time zones and different teams in the middle of a very, very busy day was almost a mission impossible. But thank you so much, all of you, for making it. And this was so much fun and so insightful. I think Women's Day or not, we should. I think hustler marketing is super women dominated, and I think that's and our results are speaking for us. So I think, yeah, women do kick ass, email marketing or no. And yeah, I'm so proud to be working with like some of the best women team that I've ever seen. So thank you. And anybody else has any closing thoughts? Andrea?
I just everyone. I just wanted to say that in email marketing, don't be afraid to try anything. Just A/B test. Don't be like too courageous. Just do something little, step by step, and you just need to do it. That don't be afraid to try something new just because no one else have tried before. It might work, So don't be afraid, never.
Yeah, I mean, she's so right, because email marketing is, you're sending an email almost every like 2-3 emails per week, and there's only so much you can just just do one off. So you have to like keep experimenting and do a lot of stuff till you know what really works. So yeah, I think that's some great advice. Cool. So I think that's all we had, and yeah, we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much everyone for watching and joining the call.